Okay, so typically my videos are not going to be like this. I never thought they would be like this. But recently, as in a couple days ago, like on Saturday, today is Thursday, I watched a movie. And this movie was so terrible that today is Thursday and I have still been thinking about it. And I felt quite literally impressed last night as I was laying down to bed thinking about this movie still that I had to get my thoughts out because it was just unbelievable. This movie was called Thanksgiving. It has an amazing cast. We have Addison Rae in it. And yes, I mean the TikToker Addison Rae. I can't even comprehend how much money they paid her. The budget of this movie was 15 million, and I'm thinking that probably 14 million of that 15 million was spent to purchase Addison Rae to be in this film because she barely even has a role, to say the least. She is just one of the characters that exists. So basically, the movie starts and you have all these people. They're all classic teenagers. They all are probably chronic TikTok stars, let's be honest. It begins with a scene of this like Black Friday uh, thing at this store. It was like Right Mart or something. I can't even remember the name because it was so meaningless. Except it wasn't because it was the whole plot of the movie somehow. And the teenagers are going to the store to the Black Friday sale, and there's a huge crowd outside. So many people. I don't know if that's what Black Friday is really like outside these big retail stores, but it was incredible. And they had barricades lining to stop the people from going inside. Everybody sounds like middle schoolers that just learned how to swear. Like, for lack of a better term, everybody's vocabulary was like that of a seventh grader who just learned how to use the F word. Except he didn't learn how to use the F word because it replaces every word, basically, of their sentences. And yeah, so eventually the teenagers get into the store early, and this makes everybody really mad because they've been waiting for a long time. So they decide to break through the barricade and get into the store. And here's where the chaos begins to ensue. This is the point when I wasn't sure if I was watching a horror movie or a comedy. Everybody's running into the store. This one guy totally slits his neck open on the glass somehow because they broke the glass of the door. Then this other guy, the door falls on top of him. He's dying to death. Because dying to death, that makes a lot of sense. He's being crushed to death, right? Everybody's just running across him. This one guy, so everybody's fighting for like oven toasters or whatever. I don't even remember what it was, but like, yeah, toaster ovens. And then this other guy, he like trips and his arm. I figured that if you landed bad on your forearm, it would just kind of like snap this way and be all crooked. But he slips and lands on it and it breaks in like 5 different places. And now this guy, he was a baseball star. And he ended up being a big plot point of who the possible murderer is of the movie. So yeah, his arm breaks in like 10 different places, it seemingly. Then this other lady falls, and because she gets tripped or something. The shopping cart guy, he like hits her in the head with the shopping cart, and supposedly it seemed like this just killed her. This guy must have been pushing that shopping cart at insane speeds, 60 miles an hour or more, because he just hits her head and she just dies. Now, to make it even worse, her hair gets caught in the wheel, and as he tries to escape with his toaster ovens, he rips her scalp off because her hair is caught up in the wheels of the shopping cart. And this is just the opening scene, mind you. There's no killer so far, but everybody's just dying. So yeah, all of that happens. It's just weird. And eventually, the real, chaos begins. Well, actually, I don't know. That was probably the craziest part of the whole movie, to be honest. And then everything else begins, and so it's all these teenagers, and there's this guy, and he wears this, pilgrim costume. And he's the murderer. He's the Michael Myers of this whole story. So now, for some weird reason, there's a YouTube video of the Right Mart massacre or whatever, the Black Friday massacre, because it happened on Black Friday, remember? And this murderer guy, he's watching the video, and he sees the faces of the teenagers or something, and he decides that he is going to kill all of those teenagers. Why? Everybody was really confused, to be honest. I watched this with a couple of my friends. We all had no idea what was going on. And it kind of sums it up at the end. But anyways, so he goes and he starts just not even just the teenagers. There's this one lady. Somehow she runs and tries to jump in a dumpster. And the lid of this dumpster must have weighed 10 tons. Because picture this, she's jumping in the dumpster. So half of her body is inside the dumpster. Her legs are still hanging out. The murderer is chasing her in his car. He comes, he hits the dumpster, which causes the lid to just fall down. Now, where I work, the lid to our dumpster is just it's plastic. The dumpster is metal, but the lid is just plastic. But this dumpster, for some reason, the lid falls and it must have had razor blades on the edge of it because it just chops her in half and she's just gone. That was whack. That was a weird kill scene. I would love to see if Dead Meat has a video on this because it's just weird. There's another kill scene, where he takes this. So for some reason, he doesn't kill anybody except the people in these videos. So he breaks into this one girl's house. And he tranks a police officer and her dad because I think a police officer was there for some reason. I can't actually remember why. And anyways, he takes the girl and blah, blah, blah. Her friends come and try to save her. And for some weird reason, there is a table saw and the button to start it is just on the floor. So he just steps on it and then throws her on the table saw. And now instead of pushing herself off, it probably would have cut her a little bit if it didn't have a safety. But most of these things have safeties anyway to know if you caught your finger in it. She falls on it and it pulls her in. So it just effectively just runs through her whole body. Oh, just weird, right? Wild, not realistic to say the least. Now eventually, after a bunch of deranged kill scenes and stuff, the killer, he has them all lined up around a table for a Thanksgiving dinner because he waited the year after the Black Friday massacre for the next Black Friday, right? And they're all sitting around the table and just weird things are happening. One lady, I don't even know why. Well, I do know why, but I'm not going to explain it because it just does not matter. He cooked her in an oven, and she's laying on the table in the shape of a turkey or something. Somehow her outfit is completely unscathed. The outfit that she went into the oven with is the same outfit she comes out of the oven with, and it looks fine. And everybody else is around the table. They're all tied up, gagged. Some of them are dead. And the guy just starts doing weird things to the bodies. I don't know. This one girl, he pokes a hole in her neck and then fills a glass with her blood, and then he cuts off a piece of the turkey lady and tries to feed it to her husband or whatever. Just weird. No point to all of it. And he's recording and live streaming all of this because he wants to make his own video, which is in reference to the YouTube video that he saw of all these kids. Anyways, this one girl manages to escape. And so she runs out of the house, and she breaks out of this wall or something, and she's outside, and so she's running from the guy, and she hops over a fence, and successfully escapes him, right, and just keeps running. Anyways, seemingly 30 seconds maybe, this was the crazy, is the part that I've been thinking about and just trying to understand, because maybe 30 seconds pass after she escapes being chased, and the killer is wearing this pilgrim costume and mask on, all that stuff, hat, and she's running, and there's a police officer laying in the road by his car, and we don't really think anything of it, but spoiler, he is the murderer, right? And he goes on to explain that he was knocked out because he had somebody in the back of his car, and he opened it to kill him or whatever, and he got hit with a tire iron and then dropped next to his car. Now, let me explain why this doesn't make sense. Why a toddler wouldn't be able to understand how this even happened. So he's just chasing this girl in an outfit. 30 seconds pass. He decides, the girl gets away, and he decides, oh, okay, well, let me go to the police car where I have the guy in the back, and we'll just forget the girl and we'll kill him. And in the process, he changed into his police uniform, because the police officer is the killer. So he just decides, after letting this girl escape, he's going to stop chasing her and he's going to go deal with this other guy. He opens the trunk. He gets knocked out. Somehow he has this guy must be the Flash. He's so fast. Everything in this movie, like the kills, how he sneaks around the houses and stuff, is like in nanoseconds that he's able to act. And he gets knocked out. The girl finds him, blah, blah, blah. And we find out he's the killer. And there's an explosion. Somehow he escapes. The reason he's killing everybody is because his wife was the lady who's, got like trucked in the head with a shopping cart and got her scalp ripped off. And he was the husband, except he wasn't the husband. They were having an affair or something, is what I got from the movie. So his little mistress over here dies, and he decides, okay, I'm going to kill all the teenagers in this YouTube video. And that was basically it. And it just left it there. Not explaining what kind of supernatural abilities this guy has to be able to kill in the way he does, or to maneuver in the way that he maneuvers. It just doesn't explain any of that. And me and my buddies, we couldn't believe what we had just watched. It was 3 a.m. We drive home. It's all we talk about on the drive home. And here, 5 days later, almost 6 days later, I am still thinking about it and just trying to decide who thought this movie was a good idea. And yeah, so if you are looking for a movie to laugh about and think about and try to figure out what's going on, I would highly suggest Thanksgiving. Don't know what year it came out, and I don't care. And if you're looking for a movie that is scary, that is intriguing, and that is well done, do not watch Thanksgiving. And yeah, that's really about it.